So let's jump to this next one, which is also very interesting.
Yeah.
BMW is working with Amazon and replacing the driver's manual with AI. And it's not just the driver's manual, is it?
No, it's a chat bot apparently. And first off, the second I hear Amazon, I worry about data privacy. So that's the first thing that comes to mind. But they're partnering to replace the traditional driver's manual, but also more with an AI chatbot, and it's going to be integrated into the vehicle's infotainment system, and it's like a chat GPT for your car kind of thing. It'll allow drivers to ask questions about their car, receive real-time information. Apparently it can answer questions about a variety of topics, including how to use specific features of the car, how to troubleshoot problems, how to perform maintenance, different things like that. And apparently it'll be able to take actions on behalf of the driver, such as changing the drive mode or adjusting the climate control, which I don't see where the innovation is there, because you can do that now with your cars. But maybe it'll be smarter. I don't know. So apparently the reason why they're doing this is to make it easier for drivers to learn about their cars and how to operate them safely, and hopefully reduce distractions, I guess. So I tried to do a deeper dive into this, and there wasn't too much more information, but because it's still under development and expected to be available in the coming years. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they actually come out with.
Sorry, you couldn't hear that, right?
No.
Yeah, cool. I was just trying to silence this while
I heard something, but
yeah, there was an ad starting to play there for a bit.
yeah.
So he's talking to it in this video. It's a little slow to respond, but it's interesting. He's asking about performance mode and different things.
Yeah.
So I guess you can get it to tell you which mode you should be in for your appropriate. He says, I'm driving down the strip. What mode should I be in? And it's like, oh, let's do performance mode because we can rev real loud and we can do this and we can do that. And I'm like, okay, I'm not really sure that's the right answer, but it's an answer, because wouldn't maybe be fuel economy mode or this mode or that mode. But apparently it was strut your stuff mode that they chose. He was talking about the auto parking feature. Now, with the auto parking feature, can you tell the AI to auto park for you rather than pressing a button?
I guess, and that would make sense. But why? Again, this comes down to why would you want to, when it's just a press of a button? Why would you want to have to say, "Hey, chatbot, can you auto park my car for me?" when you can just press a button?
Yeah, this comes back to, is it actually going to help? And it sounds, I think it'll help in a little way, because I don't know how many cars I've gone into where the clock is wrong and they don't know how to reprogram it, or they haven't plugged in the radio stations or whatever. It's like, I guess an AI would help you do that because it would walk you through it, but because people don't open up the user's manual. But how would it help you change your oil or check your fluids? Like, is it talking like you're outside the car looking at the...
Yeah, where I see it being actually helpful is if they integrate AR with this. So and I know they have this, you hold up your phone to the car itself, and it'll say, this is where the oil, the dipstick is. This is where you put the oil in. This is where you put the windshield washer fluid in. It's got labels based on the engine that you're holding it up to.
Yeah, and so we'll have to see how this turns out to be. But I'm curious as to, have they really thought this through? We talked about that car dealership you mentioned on a previous episode that introduced a chatbot on the website to sell vehicles and ended up selling something for how much?
I can't remember. They sold like a ridiculous car for like a few dollars or something.
Yeah, and they made it say it was legally binding. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Good. I worry about the more you start interfacing with driving mode, parking mode, all this other stuff into AI computers where it can switch it for you automatically. Now, mind you, I'm just fooling myself because these cars are all software driven. It can happen automatically anyway. The bigger the attack surface is, we've talked about this again when we talk about security, for people to take over your car, do stuff with
Yeah.
it. Now, what are the concerns around security?
Yeah, there's around security. There's so much. I don't think they've thought this through, because there's so many potential use cases, as far as security measures that they're going to have to implement to protect the driver from unauthorized access and use. Because like you've got a 0-day exploit, and boom, your car can be taken over just like that. It's more difficult nowadays, right? Well, it's more difficult previous to all this integration, but the second that they integrate this right into the car, there's multiple points of entry that someone could get into. That the more that they add, the more tech they add that works within the cloud, or that is communicating, the more potential security threats there are. So, and how, to me, based on what I've seen, like, what is the difference? I can see a little bit more of a help that this might have, but I don't see it exponentially being that they need to integrate this and get rid of the user manual. I don't see that.
Well, they're talking about getting rid of the user manual, so I'm not sure if it's going to save anything in that point of view. I'm also concerned about, we've had a lot of leaks when you talk about data privacy in large language models. You're using ChatGPT, people are pulling private information that from different companies because corporations were just dumping their stuff in there to help me format my technical document. And all of a sudden you got patents and all this stuff in ChatGPT that it's
Yeah.
pulling out and giving to other people. So what about my address, my information, the stuff I'm doing, the stuff I'm asking about, where I'm going? Like, is any of this information going different places that can be now used by other people?
Exactly. So the car manufacturers are going to have to be transparent about the data that they collect and how they use it. And they should also abstain. They should also obtain consent from the drivers before collecting and using data. They also, the other question is, um, what happens if if there's a crash and the AI makes them, and it's because the AI system makes a mistake? How do we ensure that that, like, who's responsible in that case, right? So, is it the person who asked the question to get the AI to do it, or is it, like, where do we draw the line? There's so many ethical concerns when it comes to this too.
So putting the ethical, data privacy, and security concerns aside,
Yeah.
what do we see as some of the potential applications of AI in cars beyond self-driving?
So we could see some improved safety features, providing real time information about the surroundings. There could be this doesn't need AI, but there could, I think Audi has this, or Land Rover, into the windscreen or windshield. They're tracking things in real time. It can be, yeah, to detect pedestrians or other vehicles in the blind spot. It can be used to warn drivers of potential hazards. Um, Enhanced infotainment systems, so you could have personalized recommendation for music, movies, and other things. You could have more efficient and environmentally friendly vehicles, so you could have an AI powered system into the car to optimize the car's fuel consumption, reduce emissions. And with all of this data, this new data that they're gathering, they could develop new innovative powertrain technologies, based on getting data from these AI systems. So the other thing is predictive maintenance. So instead of, oh, you got to get your car oil change every, well, now it's 10,000 kilometers, but it could be more of a, okay, based on your use, this is when you should be getting your car oil changed now, as opposed to on a set schedule kind of thing. So um, help to avoid unexpected breakdowns. Like, you don't know how worn down your brake pads are until you bring it in. This way you can monitor that. So
When are we going to see AIs or things in vehicles connecting with things like Rabbit and AI, a large action model, and being able to actually get your car to do stuff for you?
Well, you can now. That's the thing. This is why I don't see why this is such big things, because like in my car I can say, "Hey, do this or do that," and it'll do it, right? Obviously I can't train new things, but most vehicles nowadays do have some sort of interface. Like you've got Ford Sync, you've got all these different interfaces. So again, I'm not seeing the innovation, the huge innovation here, and maybe I'm missing it.
Yeah, that was one thing. The first kind of half of the R1 demo was okay. He's telling it to asking it to play music and whatever, like we do with every device
Yeah,
now. But he's getting some interesting information back and forth that we wouldn't normally get. But then it takes it into the next level. So when can I get to the point of, I don't know what I'd want to do, but hey, car, book me a parking spot or a parking space at where I'm headed, 10 minutes before I get there. Um, I and
yeah,
automatically tell the person I want my car washed or whatever. That's just car related. What
yeah,
about then book me a restaurant, then do this, then do that, or even some of the stuff in the interface where we're saying, can you update my presentation for me for the meeting I'm
yeah.
about to head to? Change the uh the front page to represent who I'm talking to now versus who I talked to last or whatever. Um,
Yeah.
when are we going to
Yeah.
see that kind of thing?
Well, here's the thing: is where I see the value in this is like if you're driving, you need to send an email for specifically for this infotainment AI stuff. Is integrating the functionality of the R1 into that as far as emails and different things like that go. That makes more sense.
Yeah. And keep in mind that not everyone in a vehicle is driving.
No.
So, although we're focused on the driver for most of this stuff, if you're in a carpool and three other people can actually interact and do potential things that aren't the driver, you've got some very interesting things that can be done.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you could do some searches. You
It could
could.
actually get a lot of work done if you've got an
Yeah,
action AI connected somehow via the car. But I guess at this point you would just use your own action AI or whatnot, or
maybe.
whip up your laptop or whatever. But the concept of having this in the car that can go beyond the car
Yeah,
and go into your life, whatever that means. Get me theater tickets, um, asking it information about stuff. And most of the stuff they'll go back if you say, who was the star of Oppenheimer. Most of the stuff will come back and tell you now. So
yeah,
when they did
yeah.
those examples, that's nothing new.
No, the one thing, you want to know the one use case I do see for these companies integrating AI is a new business model, a SaaS
Absolutely.
business model where you're gonna have to pay a monthly service fee to access these features.
Absolutely. And it's going to be per interface. You get like 5
Yeah,
interfaces for $10 a month, and up 15 for $20 a month or whatever, because you want to be interacting with all these things, and eventually become unaffordable for the stuff I want to do, because I want it connected to everything, to do my job, to
yeah,
do a lot of the mindless tasks. Like I said, creating graphics, creating files, potentially uh, helping me respond to emails, drafting up a bunch of stuff,
yeah,
uploading, changing things, doing stuff in software, physically clicking buttons. Um, that takes time. You know how long it takes time for me, how long it takes me to send out an invite to something like this on LinkedIn? You can scroll through to get 800 people plus invited. That takes like 15 minutes. Click, 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 just scroll, click, click. You know, that's crazy.
mundane. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And that's what I
yeah,
mean by we can really automate a lot of this stuff with some of these cool new tools that I'm have a fire lit under me to check out some new large action models to see what else is out there, because Rabbit
yeah,
can't be the only one. To see what I can start integrating and playing around with, because that sounds really fun. I'm not looking forward to BMW putting AI into
yeah.
their car, but we'll see. It is the next generation where to go. And I think the vision glasses were interesting, but not really a huge leap forward yet.
Yeah, yeah. I there. Yeah, there's a start, and BMW is notorious if you don't know already, but they've already tried to make you subscribe for heated seats or different things like that. So I'm just so we're gonna have to see where they go with this.
Yeah, we talked about the subscription model before and the fact that they can shut stuff. You won't be able to roll down your windows and do stuff because that's a feature that you didn't pay for this month. Yeah, it's interesting to see where this is going.
Yeah,
what
as
do you
much
got
as I love tech, some of the things that I'm worried about is going forward is like I would rather have a dumb car where I just plug in my phone, which I have, but you plug in my phone and I've got Google working, right? And that's all I need. Like I want all the features right away. I don't want to pay a monthly fee. So we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see what the people are willing to pay for, and what they're not willing to pay for, and what they're willing to accept and not willing to accept going forward, right? With all this new tech.
Absolutely, and add value. I just did on today's Ask the Startup Coach podcast. It's all about when to pivot. And it's when your revenue streams aren't working for you. You don't just say, "Oh, this, and this," but where do you add value?
Mm-hmm.
Where can you help the consumer get what they want faster? I was talking to somebody about Wizards of the Coast. Wizards of the Coast is Hasbro. They laid off a bunch of people. They have failed at a lot of things. And, I just said, this is a no-brainer. If I was in charge of Wizards of the Coast when COVID hit, I would have been said, this is what we need to do.
Yeah.
We need to offer a subscription online D&D service where you can sign up and within 10 minutes be playing in an active group.
Yeah.
Make it easy. Have the DMs do DM certification, online DM certification with their tools, with this, so you can pay to take the training courses. You pay the DMs to do this. You join a thing for a monthly fee, and you're playing D&D within minutes. Now you have a group that you can go back. Like, who wouldn't do that?
Yeah.
But no, we can't. And different. That becomes a monthly fee that you can have so many groups or so many this or so many that. And you pay $10 a month for a low end one, $20 for a higher end one, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, this becomes a thing that easily is a revenue model that the diehards would go for. But instead, they started screwing around with their OGL, and they started wanting to charge. They changed their agreement and their license that caused a huge uproar, and then they pulled back. Now no one trusts them anymore. Yeah, so this is what you want to just charge extra for heated seats, or charge for this, charge for that. If it's already in the car, it's a concern, right? It's like you already paid for the car, it's already in there. But now they're saying, well, if you paid more for the car, got the model upgraded, you'd have the heated seats. But or you can do the software upgrade or this monthly service. I'm not sure that's adding value.
No, I don't think so.
But if they did something that actually added value, I don't know what off the top of my head. Say it's BMW. From an AI perspective, let's say we have a theater package where our AI will find you parking, theater tickets, dinner before, blah blah blah, a concierge service that charges X and charge you X for that. Okay, you're giving an add-on service that people will or will not pay for, and you can play with what's in those things, but it's not something that should already be part of the product.
No, exactly. Yeah, I agree.
All right, what do you got to promote, John?
Oh, nothing. Just if you want some funds, zero interest loan to change your digital footprint online, software, hardware, reach out. See that. More than happy to help.
Yeah, I've been thinking about what I want to do, a series of videos with you on government funding, and we'll just do one topic per video. We'll do one on MyTac Q&A, one on this Q&A. I'd like to do one on CDAP, maybe get you and another expert in. I don't know. It's up to you. We'll talk about it where we can.
The three that I'm really good on now is Scale AI, which we should talk about because you can get $1 million to $3 million, and the OCI C2C, which is a really good program too. So there's a couple ones, and CDAP and MyTax for sure. Yeah, there's a few. Let's do it.
yeah, send me the list of those like the ones you want to talk about it, and let's start booking them.
Let's do it. Love it.
And for those of you watching, you can join John and I at startupdrinksto.com. January 25th is our next one. There's one almost every month. So check that out. We're in person. It's open bar, open pitch. You get to talk to investors. You get to talk to mentors. You get to talk to all sorts of interesting people. If you want to work with me, go to startupcoach.ca, book a discovery call, and we can chat about how working with a startup coach could help your business. Check out mentoringmagic.ca. By the time this goes out, it'll be posted. February 14th, we are doing a co-founder matchup in-person event. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you're looking for a co-founder or someone to help you take your startup to the next level, come out and join us then. All this and more can be found on torontostarts.com.
Awesome.
And we got Startup Face Off on Monday, which is a debate. I think you're there for that.
I am. I think
All right.
I'm invited. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not. I can't remember. And the startup pitch battle on the following Monday. So, which is startups pitching. We've got Oot coming out to pitch and a few other startups. So the thing with startup pitch battle is the audience decides the winner. So come on out. You get to vote and choose who wins. Thanks for being part of Futuretech podcast, and we'll see you again soon.
Take care, guys.